pictures and videos the order of the day in Cameroon. Each day you open your Facebook or go to your WhatsApp, you'll see new pictures. Beautiful girls. I don't know what's really wrong with our young girls in Cameroon. You're welcome to OBU-SI. Just behind this camera, I can see Henry. He's the camera operator. By my right, Roland is the one handling the other camera, and the guy directing the program today is none other than Jean Fangio. Can we applaud our guests? Yeah. Yeah, exceptionally, our guest starts the program with us today. Good afternoon, Etunde.
Good afternoon, Senator.
How are you?
I'm fine.
How was the weekend?
The weekend is good.
Okay. Eposi,
Senator.
Ureli.
Hey,
How was the weekend?
I was perfect.
That's Boya. Boya, oh, Mutengene.
Boya.
Boya. Okay. Pastor Kale.
Yes, sir.
Hello, bro.
Very fine.
Our family.
Except
Well, I want to talk about coin grammar, so. How is the queen? Yes. Did you go to Bamenda or you?
No, I was.
You're in Douala for the weekend. Okay. Joseph is the vice president of the Social Democratic Front, the leading opposition party in Cameroon. You're welcome, Mr. President.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure having you on the program. We begin with you, Etunde. You give us a rundown of the program today.
Okay, today we shall be having the Mutumbu proposed by all the interns here. After the Mutumbu, we're having the gossips. We're having Pastor Caleb for the gospel.
You almost said gossip.
Having hot news with Eposi, and I'll be doing the gossips and the birds.
We're having herb tips, dates and events, Aika,
and
Nadesh.
the talking points of the day.
Let's begin with the talking point. Pastor Caleb,
Yeah.
what do you think is behind the so-called parent consortium? Because we'll have the images during the hot news slot. We'll come with the images. What happened in Bamenda with the women? They came out in their numbers with peace tree. I don't know how they call it, funkung in my mother tongue, to make pressure bear on the court in Bamenda. The lawyer did not appear. The bishop did not go to court. What do you think is behind this so-called consortium of parents?
Parents. Who is behind them?
Because I say so because last week in the Manu division there was this PTA meeting that held, and then they wrote a lengthy press release saying that they are the parents, so they don't know who is behind the so-called parent consortium.
People can be behind them and people might not be behind them because every parent is concerned about the future of his child. So it's normal for a father to be worried why his child didn't go to school. So maybe they are acting on their free will. Yeah.
Okay. Etunde,
Yes.
about the so-called parent consortium. We know what happened with the consortium members. They were arrested, carried to Yaoundé. They are in jail presently. And then there was this press release signed by the Minister of Territorial Administration banning the consortium. Now we have another consortium of parents.
Yes, I think behind bad projects we always have black hands, and I believe those who are behind these people very soon will be known, because from what is happening, actually they have the courts, people not appearing.
They did not appear.
People
We
not appearing.
didn't say any those parents.
So I think with this court issue, these guys will be discovered.
We will discover those who are really
Yes.
behind the consortium.
Yeah.
Eposi,
Senator.
talk your own.
The truth is, I don't understand what is actually happening in this country. Because the so-called consortium of parents, they are ghosts. I'll call them ghosts because we don't know them. What's the essence of adjourning cases, postponing because nobody has come up or turned out for the others, the so-called consortium of parents? There is no consortium of parents. There is no leader or there is no head for any consortium of parents. So they should stop dragging our legs and pulling us behind. This is
But
nonsense.
now we also learned that the moderator of the Presbyterian Church is someone now, not as the moderator of the Presbyterian Church, but as Samuel Funky.
Samuel Funky.
Is it easy for us to differentiate Caleb?
He has
between,
children.
Funky and the moderator.
No, you can't strip him of his reverendship. You can't. He remains Reverend Funky. And
so even if he was acting as the moderator,
no, you cannot dethrone him because you want to judge him. Even I don't think the law holds that.
Okay, Mr. MP, your take about this subject?
Well, you know that the law doesn't allow you to comment pending cases. So as long as a case is pending in front of the jurisdictions, you have to respect that. Now, I think there is no case.
Yeah.
But I'm confident that the courts will come to the same conclusion.
The courts are going to come to the same conclusion. Okay, let's have the pictures. We're going to analyze 3 pictures today chosen by Etundi and the others. The cartoon. Let's begin with the cartoon. Jean, we'll begin with the cartoon, and then we'll have the police brutality, and then after that we'll end with the woman in a back boot of a car. Yeah. Our talking point. Who is behind the so-called parents consortium? You can send us your text messages via the numbers 650-363158. Can we have the images? Is it possible? Okay, Jean, let's have our food for thought. Still not ready. Okay, directly to our Mutumbu, our food for thought at last is ready. I want to inspire people. I want someone to look at me and say, because of you, I didn't give up. Caleb.
That's the essence of why I preach. That's the essence why I do what I'm doing. So that somebody somewhere in my absence will say, thank God there was a Pastor Caleb who was there to direct my path. That
shall take about our food for thought. Mr. President.
Yes.
About our food for thought. Let's have it again on the screen. I want to inspire people. I want someone to look at me and say, because of you, I didn't give up.
I think that's, how can I put it, it's a noble way of looking at things. Unfortunately, in Africa and Cameroon in particular, many people don't think about those around them, and so they think only of themselves. And I think the first thing we get from it is that you get more when you share than when you keep everything from yourself. You get more when you inspire people than when you try to build up only yourself. And I think exactly what you do with your own kids, because all those who are graced to be parents know exactly that their success is if their kids make it
in life
above what they were. And so we should not limit it only to our children, but we should understand that every kid in the village is our kid, and we should try to make it
should have a place under the sun.
Exactly. We should try to make it such that we inspire all of them as if they were our children.
Okay. Do you inspire? Do you continue? Do you give as a man, not as a politician now? Others?
Well, I try to as much as possible.
Okay. Etundi?
Yes.
About our food for thought?
Yes. For me, it means I always like to leave a good impression about myself every time I'm somewhere. When I leave, they should talk good about me, about my deeds there. Yeah.
Okay. How about you're the lady, the only lady with us on set?
I want to look at it in the point of the kind of people we call role models. I want to bring it down to the political leaders we have nowadays. I think they should be a source of inspiration. We, the youth, should look up to them and like, I want to become like this person one day. This person ruled and ended at this time. This person was diplomatic, and so I want to become like this person. So those we call our leaders should show us the right way to follow, the good example.
The good example. I don't know why you chose this video. It's Mutumbo, Spice Indicator. I don't know. Let's watch. When we come back, we shall be analyzing.
Wind up their waist, open up the middle and give me some space. Let me mash up the place. I got this thing on the backyard. Me no fi shake it up like a shaker. Left to the right, move like indicator. Vibrate it like a snake with a rockler. To the left, make it jump to the right. Make it move, but it job like a car light. Indicator, body firm and tight. Pump on a big like 64 megabyte. Left side a jump, right side a jump. Bada bump, I go convert Donald Trump. Make him mind change when you fight the black lump. than a jump. Hey, watch how me go sit down with it. Woman me a bubble bumper, I jump in it. Indicator them a watch how me did it. Them a photo color, take a chick, them a credit. Bumper jumping, watch how my bumper jumping. Left, right, bumper jumping. Body body my bumper jumping. Left, right, bumper jumping. Indicator bumper jumping. Left, right, bumper jumping. Body body my bumper jumping. Left, right, watch how me.
Spice indicator. Mr. Joseph, see, we just watched that video and it's trending now. I think nude videos on the social media in Cameroon. Where you surely saw what happened in Kumba with the young man who threatened the girl with a machete and had to film her naked, and then the lady who did a nude video in Boya.
I didn't see it, but I heard about it.
Okay, you heard about it. Okay, but you're on the social media. Scandalous. Now, when you see young girls like this dancing the way these girls were doing, and then shaking the bombs, is that still show business?
Well, you know, show business is business, as you say.
Yeah.
And it's a question of offer and demand. If there is no demand, there is no offer.
Yeah.
And today, whether you go to the social media or you go to the shop to get something, you're not obliged. Just as you talked about the video from Kumba, nobody's obliged to open it.
Yeah.
So when you open it, you accept the content before opening it. So there are people who refuse to open it and others who open it. So I think if you see what is on offer, it means that there is a demand for it.
Yeah.
And you cannot condemn the offer without condemning the demand. And it's a reflection of today's...
but are we talking there of moral decadence as a parent now?
There is nothing called moral decadence. That's an imagination. Morality that we give ourselves, we give it as a society. And when that society is not inclusive, when we don't decide all together on what our moral values are and where the boundaries are, you cannot be talking about moral decadence. It's an illusion. We have to agree first of all. We have to agree first of all on where the boundaries are.
Yeah. As a society.
As a society.
Yeah.
And once we agree on that, we start saying, hey, this guy is out of bounds, or that video is out of bounds.
Okay.
When you don't have a boundary, nothing is out of bounds.
Nothing is out of bounds, and from the looks of things,
I'm not saying that it's a good thing.
Okay.
I'm just saying that you cannot base yourself on the premise of what we have that is supposed to rule us, that is the rule of law, and say on the other side talk about moral decadence. You know, the society is. She just said it about political leadership. Politics is everything, and
politics is everywhere.
Is everywhere, and the society is a reflection of its leadership. It's nothing else. You cannot have a dynamic, genuine leadership and you have a morally decayed society. It's not possible. It's just a reflection of what is happening.
Okay, the fish start to rot the head. Caleb?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. The things that is because of the whole system, the rules of the society and all that, and not okay with that. But now your take about the video. Go to the video.
My take about the video, assistant with moral decadence. You see, inspiration, I believe, is a relative word. You either inspire somebody to fail, or you inspire the person to succeed. Yeah. Like from our quote of the day, live your life the way that somebody will stand tomorrow and be proud of what you inspire. You inspire the person to do. Now, when we look at videos like this, I'm sure a young girl or a young boy will stand in 10 years and say, my life went wayward because I watched this video. I was good until I came in contact with this video and I began to practice it. Then my life became a sham.
Okay, Etunde.
Yes. These videos, especially the title indicator, I don't know what it meant because I don't know what
it might be it's a litmus paper.
I don't know what she was indicating there. Maybe the moves or the cars there. But I will say I brought it because I wanted to bring the Jamaican ways of doing things, and I want to know if these things are available, if they are
in their society. It's okay. That's why I was talking about the rules
If they can cross the boundary to reach here.
It's a global village.
What should we do? What can we do?
If you upload something on YouTube today in the West or the hemisphere, you can watch it directly here. Eposi, About your choice, yeah, because you explained to us what prompted this choice.
No, actually, what prompted my choice was I wanted to illustrate the media effect. You know, this kind of, when we watch this kind of videos,
Carry your microphone.
Video, when I watched this video, I was like, could these girls not devise any other means of dancing? Could they only shake their butts? What are they trying to show out to the public? You understand? And many young people out there will be like, wanting to copy from the hairdo, their dressing, their dance styles, and that's how it corrupts their mind negatively, like what Pastor Elia said. So I don't buy for it at all.
You don't buy for it at all. Okay, we have our press now, few papers on the program. I will begin with the Post newspaper. The Post newspaper is talking about the demise of the iconic veteran sports journalist Zachary Ekuo. He died yesterday at the Mount Mary Hospital in Boya. And continue with the road accident. 7 perished in a corner. 5, sorry, but when this accident happened, that was on Friday. We learned more than a dozen people died, but later on they were just injured and they were lying down in a comatose state. Let's go to Bangolan. The paper is talking about Bangolan and the chieftaincy tussle. The village has been militarized, as the paper says. Villagers attempt to remove or dethrone Fon Chafa from his seat. Protester fails to disrupt lane of HTTC Foundation stone in Kumba. The Minister of Higher Education came there for the graduation ceremony, and some villagers tried to block him, and he told them that he was not informed of the situation, and that when he goes back to Yaoundé, he's going to table the issue to the competent authority to try to look into it. Release Jakiri teachers receive heroes welcome. We saw the videos on Canada English. We've been showing the videos of the teachers who were released and the joy in Jakiri. Trial of church leaders in Bamenda postponed again. We'll leave the Post newspaper now to the Star newspaper. The Star newspaper has the following stories on the front page. Cameroon, a nation in crisis. The Anglophone problem takes ugly twist in many facets. Mysterious death of Bishop of Bafia shocks the nation. We will learn that the tummy of the guy and the lungs, there was no water in there, and then some reports saying that he apparently was killed before thrown into that river. We're still waiting on the official report. Mysterious death of Bishop of Bafia shocks the nation. 5 bishops, PCC moderator facing criminal charges. I think on the hot news slot we're going to be talking about that. That's our talking point dwells on the so-called parent consortium. Terror hits London again. 9 dead a few weeks after the attack, the Manchester attack, and on the same day when they was organizing, Ariana Grande was organizing a show to pay homage to those who lost their lives during her last concert in Manchester. Kumba 2 Council at war with the City Council. Just go to the papers, and then you have that and more. Moderator Bishop in court today. They appeared in court, and during the hot news we'll be talking about that. A nation horrified as a bishop's corpse is fished from a river. Fake MP arrested, detained in Bamenda. That is it in that which concerns our talking point today. Let's now see what our guest has for us. We little interview Pastor Caleb. You stay with us because our guest has so many things to do, so he's going to leave us very soon. Let's have the little jingle. Just see, as the Vice President of the Social Democratic Front and MP and a businessman, tell us, how do you reconcile all that? You really find time for your family?
Well, I'm standing in front of you today, so
because it was very difficult to have you.
One word or other, I'm able to reconcile all of that. Yes.
Yeah, and then as a young Cameroonian, did you dream of becoming a leader, political leader, or you had other dreams?
Well, I think what is important in life is to make sure you take stock of the opportunities that are in front of you, and you should do things that you do with passion, that you do without, because that's the only way for you not to be stressed when you're doing it. So whatever you do, as long as time permits for you to do it, if you're doing it with a lot of passion and you're doing it, as you say, from the bottom of your heart, the difficulties are much, you don't see the difficulties actually.
There's a relationship to me between you and the chairman of the Social Democratic Front. You love football, and you've once managed a football club. Are you still managing the football club, or you just say, okay, now I'm very busy, and then the club in Dian should just...
Well, I have never per se managed a football club. I've been the president of a football club. That is leadership and not management. We've had very able people managing it up to today. As you say, when you have something in your blood, you cannot get rid of it. So I grew up in football. I played football myself, and the only thing I can do today is to try to help young people. That's why our football club is called a social club, because we're trying to help young people emerge. And we quite, I can say we're quite happy with the results we've had so far, and that club is going on. We decided at one point not to go to first division football because I do not have the means to support that, and I didn't want it to become a burden on the population, but the club is living. And the main objective of the team is to is as a football center that is to develop young talents, and that's what we've been doing with a lot of success so far.
You watched the finals of the Champions League between Real Madrid and Juventus de Turin.
Well, I was unfortunately at work. I didn't. I watched just the last 10 minutes and the last 15, 20 minutes.
The last 15, 20 minutes. Now, tell us, your parents, when you were growing, did they consider you as this calm man, this calm child, or were you like buoyant at home?
Well, if you want to know how I was or how I am,
how you were,
how I was or how I am not the right person to give an answer.
Go and ask your family.
You should go and ask them.
Very intelligent. Very intelligent. Okay, let's talk about politics now. When exactly did you join the Social Democratic Front?
Well, emotionally on the 26th of May 1990, and factually that is my first card was taken on the 31st of March 1991.
1991. And the party has known difficult times. The Professor Songanyi, late Professor Songanyi left, Siga Asanga left. We can name names of other big wigs.
Siga Asanga died.
Yeah, he left the party before kicking the bucket. That's what I'm saying. Other big wigs have been leaving the party, and you have been there. What was that thing that's retaining Mr. Joshua OC?
Well, you should ask them why they left, not why I'm staying. You understand? You cannot be, you know, when you join a political party, it's because you have an ambition, either for yourself, or for yourself and the nation, or for yourself and the party, whatever. But there is an ambition. You don't just join a political party because you're frustrated in what you're doing and so on and so forth. Because it takes a lot of time, energy, and other things, sacrifices and so on to be in one. Now, there are some people who are in a hurry to get there, and others who take the time to get there.
They're patient enough.
Well, you know, one point is when you're at a certain age, you no longer can have the patience a younger person can have as well. So that's maybe one of the reasons. You know, the ANC needed a century to get rid of apartheid. The French Socialist Party, for instance, needed close to a century to get to power. And other political parties, like the APC in Nigeria, has got there after 10 years. So you can...
Even in Senegal, Abdoulaye Wade, about 35 years.
Exactly. So there is no blueprint, okay? You have to be comfortable in what you're doing, and as I told you earlier on, you have to be passionate for what you're doing. Once you're passionate for what you're doing, and when you understand that Cameroon is much bigger than a political party and than your life, it's much bigger actually than your family, then you find the energy necessary to work towards that. And I think we gave ourselves a constitution in '96 that gives political party the platform for political debates. And so outside of a political party, if you're doing politics, then you're not someone serious. You have to remain in a political party. You have to be part of it. Now you can go from one political party to the other.
Yeah.
Since 1990, I am convinced that the #1 problem of Cameroon is the CPDM and its leadership. So I will not go from the SDF to the CPDM, because I think for my children to have a better future in this country, we need to offer something better than what the CPDM is offering.
Something better, that is why you...
And so I will not jump from where I am to go lower. I can only go above. So what I decided to do is to take this party up into power. That's why I'm still here.
That's why you're still there. And being a parliamentarian, that is some of the things you're doing, fighting to see the laws change. But now in Cameroon, we have a hand-clapping parliament. That's what people say. Is it easy for somebody like you who want to revolutionize thing in the National Assembly to try to...
First of all, let us just agree that I do not comment on what people say. I comment on facts.
Okay. The National Assembly of Cameroon.
If you believe that it's a hand-clapping parliament, then ask your question that way and I'll answer it.
Come again. How does it work? Like you with the obese majority of the ruling party, most of your proposals don't go through.
Well, the parliamentarian has two functions according to the Constitution of Cameroon.
Yeah.
The first is a legislative function, that is to propose laws and adopt laws that are proposed to it and so on. The second function is accountability, government control, okay? So I think on the part of proposing laws, we have been systematically blocked from private member bills being presented, but that doesn't refrain us from doing it. And it creates a debate. We know that the CPDM has an obese majority, as you just said, rightfully said, but that doesn't stop us from doing our job. I know that most of you outside of Parliament are aware of what is going on in Parliament, because there is an opposition political party, a political group in Parliament that is able to get access to information and inform the public. So that is part of the role, that is part of the job we're doing there. And we're able to hold them down to certain dispositions. You saw in the month of, in the March session, the first session for 2017, we held Parliament closed because we wanted to put the Anglophone issue on the table. And
we had the pictures with
and
you.
the CPDM MPs, including the CPDM Anglophone MPs, decided that it was not an issue and we'll go ahead. So we wanted it to be on records, so that in 20 years, when my children ask me what I did in Parliament, I say, look, in March 2017, we had an issue of marginalization of a people that was overruled by that political party. And it is on the records of Parliament that that happened. So it is an action we're taking. I personally presented a resolution for a parliamentary inquiry into the Chinese aircrafts that were purchased for 4 times their price.
Yeah, followed you.
And it was blocked by Parliament. But the issue was raised, and it went right up to the presidency. And as it went up to the presidency, an inquiry was asked for, and it is being done. So even if we are blocked, even if we are blocked from doing what we're supposed to do normally, the fact that we are able to, I would say, to start a process that is being blocked, that launching of the process makes it such that the public is empowered with the problems we have and can take that further. The
Social Democratic Forum has been losing its fame if we go to the different elections in Cameroon. What are some of the reasons, Joshua will see to you, from 45 seats to 20 to 15 and all that? What's happening?
Well, I think you have to be fair with what has happened so far, which is not a Social Democratic Front issue, it's a democracy issue. And what has happened so far is that democracy went backward. And the first time democracy went a big forward was after the 2011 presidential election. In 2012, Mr. Biya decided to put in place the electoral code, which is what we had been fighting for since 1990. And by the time we obtained
2 or 3 advances in that electoral code. Because we went, don't forget, we went from Minat. Some of you are too young to understand that.
Well,
the first elections were organized by SDOs and DOs. And we went to Onel 1, Onel 2, Onel 3. Then we went to Elecam 1, Elecam 2. So that is all a process. Unfortunately, it has taken much longer than anybody had anticipated to keep Mr. Biya in place for as long as it's been. But by the time we got to 2013 elections, because we had decided in 2007 to put as a central point the struggle for a better electoral process, we could not be campaigning for ourselves. We're campaigning for an electoral process. So by the time that electoral process was in place, a couple of weeks before the 2013 election, we understood that we had a much better electoral platform. I'm not saying it is good. I'm not saying it is acceptable, but much better than in 2011, because we had, for the first time in Cameroon, a biometric registry of voters. We are asking for the biometry to come right into the polling stations.
There's so many loopholes with so many
exactly, but at least it was a beginning.
Yeah.
So by the time we could now go in to propose our vision of the future for Cameroon, we got the results that we got, but it is a sacrifice we accepted to give in. In 2007, when we put everything aside to fight only for the electoral process. And I think Cameroonians one day, not today, but in 20 years, 10 years, will thank us for what we did and for what we sacrificed. What I'm trying to say is that the result is not as a reason of people voting less for us, because if you look at the total number of votes we've been having, they've been increasing. The reason is elsewhere. And it was in the electoral process. It is, for instance, in gerrymandering. How can you explain to me, and I'm
it's constituencies with so many...
how can you explain to me that the entire Bonaberi has just 1 MP, with a population twice the population of the South region, who have 11 MPs? How can you explain to me that you need to put Bamenda and Bali together to have just 1 MP, whereas Santa has 1 MP? So if you, all those incongruencies come out with the result that you have in Parliament, making it such that I am MP from Douala Central, I'm sitting next to an MP who has just 2,200
and there you have millions.
Inhabitants in his constituency. And he has a vote, I have a vote. So those are all the things that are supposed to be changed so that you get a clean result. So you cannot base yourself on today's electoral results to measure the importance or the impact of a political party. You don't have to forget that one of the biggest I would say loopholes in our democracy is the cost of this democracy. You cannot be in a country where the minimum salary is at 36,000 francs CFA. 36,850. I worked on it personally because that is one of the things when I brought up a private member bill to bring up the minimum salary to 200,000 francs. It was withdrawn. And 3 weeks later, the minister increased the minimum salary from 27,000 to 38,000. So those are some of the advances that we have been obtaining in Parliament. But just to come back on the point, one of the biggest loopholes is the cost of an election. You cannot ask people who earn 37,000 to give a caution of 1 million francs to be a candidate. Okay, so that makes it such that before the election, the CPDM has already won. Because the biggest political party, which is in power with the CPDM and they have ministers, they're only able to file in 100 candidates out of the 180. And the SDF comes third with about 66 candidates that we file in, and the other parties come with 2, 3, 4 candidates. You understand? So before the election day, the CPDM has already won because they blocked it with the cost of money. Of course we are. Of course we are. If we were not working to fix that, I would not be talking about it.
Now, everywhere on the social media, people think you're better placed to represent them come 2018. You've seen pictures with names and stuff like that. Is it? How do you respond to that?
Well, you gave the answer in your question. You said come 2018. We're still in 2017. Yeah. So,
but if you want to go in for a presidential election, you should know now, Mr. Joseph. See,
please,
not 2018.
Can you tell me what role you'll be having in Canal 2 in 2018? So, the important, it's a very serious matter.
Yes.
In order to liberate Cameroonians, it's not a question of an individual or a candidate today. It's a question of how many Cameroonians are registered. And Anybody talking about a candidate who is not registered and who hasn't registered his entire neighborhood and family is disqualified from talking about it.
Okay.
We still need about 5 million people to be registered between today and the 31st of August, which is the end of those registrations. So it is important that you in the media, it is not a question to vote for A, B, or C. It's a question of taking and when you are registered, if you don't agree with all the candidates and all the programs, stay at home, but at least you are registered. So we can count you as one person who didn't agree with what was being proposed. Okay? Yeah. When you stay at home and you are not registered, it simply means that you are taking the mediocre people who are ruling this country today and giving them an eternal mandate. You need to go and register. We need 5 million Cameroonians to go and register above those who have registered today. And it is very easy to register. You just need your ID card and 2 minutes of your life and you're registered.
Go to any ELECAM,
you go to any ELECAM office or you ask for any political party in your neighborhood. They will tell you when the ELECAM officers are coming by to register you. Or what you can do is that if you are 10, 20, 30 people in your neighborhood who are not registered, you can ask, you can call ELECAM and they will come and register you where you are. And it's not a call to vote, it's a call to register, because as long as you're not registered, you're not a Cameroonian citizen.
Okay, Mr. Jososi, let's talk now about the Anglophone problem. It started far back, and then we understand that in the 90s, when you created the party, you guys were talking about federalism to solve the present problem in Cameroon.
We're still talking about it.
Are you still for the 10-state federation or for?
The position of the SDF is very clear.
Yeah.
We say power to the people. Power to the people means a federal form of the state. Meaning
but there's decentralization. They're talking about it.
Let me maybe explain to you what the essential difference between decentralization and federalism is: the separation of powers. In a decentralized state, the president of the republic can give and take back. He can give when he wants, take back when he wants. He can even change. In a federal state, it's fixed in the constitution. And the constitution tells us what you have and what is done centrally. Let me explain. If in our today's disposition with the laws and arrêtés of the Prime Minister and decrees and so on, education, basic education is normally in the hands of councils, and secondary education is in the hands of regions. These regions haven't been put in place yet. But what does that mean? It means that if they want to take away basic education from councils, it's just another decree. Okay? But in a federal state, what does it mean? It's a constitutional disposition that will say, okay, education is in the hands of local governments. Yeah. Meaning that every council area will control its own schools. Every council area will control its own hospitals, etc. And you cannot take it back when it works, or give it when you have difficulties making it work. That is the big difference between both. So it is important to understand that difference, and it is important to understand that in a diverse country like Cameroon, the only way to keep us together, to fix our unity, our national unity,
is federalism.
To devolve powers down, and the only way to do that, when you really guarantee it in the long term, is federalism.
Federalism. And now,
and just to complete your answer, the SDF's position is for federalism. The form of which, whether it is 10 states, 20 states, 54 states, whatever, the form of which will be decided by the people. Joshua O.C., speaking to you, is against a two-state federation because it will keep us in a situation of minority against majority. And that is a bad federal system. A good federal system is where the states have plus minus the same weight, so that they can balance each other in political arguments.
In a nutshell, you're going for 10-state federation. Now,
that's my personal take.
Yeah, that's your personal take, not the take of the party. Of recent, I saw you trying to explain to Cameroonians when the chairman of the Social Democratic Front signed this press release calling on the militants of the Social Democratic Front not to celebrate the 20th of May. You really precise, because I followed you up and then I read the press release. You said it was not boycott, but there's nuance there, but not celebrating.
No. You said everything perfectly and then you added a but. That bet was not part of it.
Yeah, just tell us. Yeah.
We said we are not celebrating. In no place in that internal memo, which was meant for the consumption of SDF members, In no place did we say we are against the 20th May. Did we call for a boycott? When you call for a boycott, it means that you want to punish, and it's a punitive action. Yeah. We're not saying that the CPDM should not go and march. We didn't say that students should not go and march or the army should not go and march. We said we do not think there is anything to celebrate. The situation is such that we need introspection rather than celebration. You cannot celebrate national unity. And you went further
not to celebrate your party's
exactly. You cannot celebrate national unity when that unity is at the verge of collapse.
Now, as a man, and tell us, what are we really celebrating, Joseph? What are we celebrating? We were talking about celebrating unity. We were talking about the referendum of 1972. 1984, the president came with a presidential degree and then wiped everything out. So why are we still celebrating 20th May 1972 as a man, as a Cameroonian?
Well, because a woman would have another answer.
No, just tell us. It might be, who knows?
No, I will answer as a Cameroonian, not as a man.
Yeah.
If you want to know why we're celebrating the 20th May, okay?
I know why we're celebrating. I want to know from you why we keep on celebrating something that has been scrapped out of the rules that is governing us. I mean, the Constitution and everything.
No, that's the answer I'm giving you.
Yeah.
Just be patient. I say, well, if you want to know why we're celebrating, you have to ask those who put it in place and who are still in power today. Okay, I tell you, my national president on the 10th of May told us that he doesn't know why we are celebrating, and that's why we did not celebrate. So if other people are still celebrating, go and ask them what they're celebrating. Don't ask me, I cannot answer in their place. Okay, I feel it's, you know, to come back to a bit more of seriousness on this issue,
yeah.
There is a historical case that needs to be answered. That needs to be clarified. It doesn't mean anybody wants to separate from anybody. No. It doesn't mean, and I'm convinced that even when we talk about separation, it's because it's an argument to come to a better way of living together in one way or the other.
We disagree to agree.
We disagree to agree. And we have to agree to disagree to agree.
Yeah.
And that's the problem we have right now.
Yeah.
And in essence, as long as we do not have the courage to sit down in a form of truth and reconciliation gathering, where we put all the facts on the table, it doesn't mean that we have to reverse our history or we reverse what we're doing. It means that we just simply have to accept what happened and try to correct it so that it doesn't happen tomorrow. Because right now, when we run away from the facts as they are, when we run away from what many Anglophones are putting on the table as being points that they're raising, that are pertinent points,
yeah.
As long as we run away from them and we try to wipe it away with cosmetic solutions, putting in place a commission. We know that for the past 50 years, no commission has ever done anything because all the powers lie in the hand of the president.
But the one in Ezeka did 7 months after.
No, excuse me. The one in Ezeka, you don't have a report on it, okay? You have a communique by the presidency, which is not a report from a commission. So don't get confused between both.
Now, the Anglophone problem, Mr. Joseph, do you think, as of now, the tension is at high? The people, the every day and now and then, I think they're talking about ghost towns and people, if you go there, talk to them, people are not really happy. Now, do you think if the release Agbobala, Mancho, Neba is going to quell down the tension?
Well, there are about 150
detainees
that were abducted, that were brought to Yaoundé, whereas there are courts that are competent to hear their cases in the southwest and the northwest, and were abducted, kidnapped, and brought to Yaoundé for reasons nobody can explain except political reasons. So the first thing is that they need to be released. And if they release them, then I believe, because I'm afraid to say I'm not part of the consortium, so I cannot talk on their behalf.
Yeah, you're not their spokesman.
I'm not their spokesperson. I'm not even a member. I don't have the privilege to be a member. I'm in a political party. But as someone responsible of a political party, I believe that the first step towards dialogue is to talk to them when they are free. Even the apartheid regime in South Africa didn't talk to Mandela in a cell. They removed him and put him in a villa. He was under house arrest, but I mean, he could go out jogging every morning. He could go and do his shopping and so on. But he was not in a cell when they talked peace. So you cannot be talking to somebody, lock him up, and then believe that from his position of weakness in a cell, he will then agree to everything you have on the table. No. So these people, first of all, have to be released. And it's not about 2-3 people. It's about the 150 or so people who are locked up. They have to be released. And they have to drop the charges against them, because releasing is one thing, dropping the charges is something else. And once they are free citizens again, they will be they most probably will be ready to enter into renewed dialogue to try to look for lasting solutions
to the problem and not cosmetic. That's what you're saying. Okay, now this same problem led to the fleeing of one of the members of the parliament, Honorable Wilbur. I was lucky enough to talk with him on our morning program. Abella, what are you doing to protect this parliamentarian who ran away and wrote a lengthy letter to the chieftain of the Social Democratic Front? It was in a way trying to say that it was not defended by the party.
Well, that I will not commend the letter he wrote to the national chairman of the SDF, because he didn't write to me.
Okay.
But I can tell you, as a member of the SDF parliamentary group, the SDF parliamentary group paid a working visit to the President of the National Assembly, and we had a very long discussion with the President of the National Assembly. I can tell you, the President of the National Assembly seemed not to be aware that a warrant was issued against him. Our internal intelligence sources gave us this information, and that is why we could
go to the President of the National Assembly.
That is why he could have the information and escape.
Okay.
Okay. He didn't just escape because he had a bad dream. There was some work being done behind the scenes. It is what the Delegate General of National Security did is against the law and against the Constitution. Not just the law, against the Constitution. A policeman cannot be above the Bureau of the National Assembly. And the President of the National Assembly was scandalized when he saw the warrant of arrest. And he promised us that he will take it up with the President of the Republic, because he cannot accept that a sitting member of Parliament be served with a warrant of arrest. Okay, so he promised feedback for the next session, which is starting in 2 or 3 days.
Yeah.
So we'll see what he says, because you have to understand that it is not about an individual. It's about an institution. And you cannot go against the constitution of the country and try to arrest. Exactly.
Summoning
the law is abundant, is clear on that. It is only the Bureau of the National Assembly that can lift the immunity, and under certain cases only. And the cases he's been accused of, where they call him a terrorist, none of that is outside of his sphere of competence. The fact to speak to Cameroon, a parliamentarian is paid to talk. That's why you call it parliament. It comes from the Latin word parl, talking. Okay? So you cannot, we are obliged to meet our citizens and explain and talk. So you cannot, when an MP is talking to his citizens, first of all, request from him an authorization to do his work, because he has a mandate to do it, so he doesn't need an authorization.
Yeah.
Secondly, he doesn't need to declare it when he's doing it. And thirdly, you cannot arrest it for what he's doing. And and that is exactly why the Constitution protects him. Because all what he was doing, it was inside his mandate, and it was legal. Okay. So for now, you have to understand,
on the feedback,
for now, I prefer seeing him in exile as he is, rather than seeing him in a cell or going to meet him in jail. So we're very happy that he was able to escape. And he was not escaping because he was afraid. He was escaping because he was actually served a warrant of arrest. And by the time we would have explained that he is not subject to that warrant, he would have spent a year in prison. So that's why we're happy that he was able to escape. And we're doing everything possible for that warrant to be cancelled. And maybe your viewers need to know he is exactly on the same warrant as Justice Ayapol.
Justice Ayapol Abime, who is presently in jail. Now, you in Bamenda during the NEC meeting, you created a commission of inquiry to probe into police brutality during the height of the Anglophone struggle. Where are you going to present the findings of this inquiry? To Human Rights Watch, to Amnesty International, or to the United Nations?
Well, all those are organs that are that are below Cameroon, not above Cameroon, and the SDF is a Cameroonian party, so we're an institution in this country. So we'll not go and present reports to them. They can present reports to us. We have decided that we're going to make an inventory, I was looking for the word, of the human rights abuses during the entire crisis. Because what we found out during our meeting is that even internally we could not agree on the number of people who died, the number of people or number of women who were raped, the number of houses destroyed, the number of people in prison, etc. So we asked our legal bench and a couple of other people involved, directly involved in all of this, to make an inventory. So that when we talk about the 6 months or 8, 9 months that have passed, we can say during the 9 months, X number of people were killed, X number of, Y number of people arrested, Z number of people raped, and so on and so forth. Because today you talk about rape, arrests, brutality, you cannot quantify it.
A concise report
you need to have a quality report that can have exactly what happened where, when, at what date. So, because today we're complaining about everything, but nobody is specific about exactly what happened. That's why we said we're going to do this work, so that we can, from an informed position, take position on what is going on.
Now, okay, we're running to the end of this interview, Honorable. Tell us, if tomorrow Mr. Biya decides to form a unity government, is the SDF going to enter into this government?
Well, as far as I'm concerned, no. But I cannot speak on behalf of the SDF on that issue because they didn't mandate me to do so. I speak on behalf of the position the SDF has up to this present moment.
Let me give you an example. In Senegal, you just talked about Senegal, the former head of state spent about 35 years as an opposition leader before grabbing power. In Côte d'Ivoire, almost the same thing with Laurent Gbagbo. They had some ministers in different governments. So
no, Laurent Gbagbo never had ministers.
Afingesan was in the government of
later on when after the coup. So that's a you cannot compare things that shouldn't be compared. Okay. Now, if we have a military coup, I don't wish for one, Mr. Biya gets killed, a bit like what happened in Côte d'Ivoire, and we find ourselves in a situation where we need to save the country, and they call on us to come and give our expertise and our leadership to help save the country. Why not? But you're not talking about that. You're saying we should join a unity government called up by Mr. Biya. But we've understood that Mr. Biya has had about 400 ministers so far. The situation of the country is getting worse and worse. So it's not the number of ministers or the quality of those ministers that will change anything. It's only, it's only getting rid of him that can change anything.
Now, if in a unity government, Mr. Biya and the CPDM decides to like, okay, we're giving you the Minister of Finance, giving you the Ministry of Territorial Administration, the Interior Ministry. We are giving you the Prime Ministry so that you should form a government. Won't you take the opportunity?
What the SDF wants today is the presidency of the Republic, and we do not want an election rigger to give us positions. We want the people of Cameroon to give us those positions. That's our position. We are Section 3 of our constitution, internal constitution, says that we'll get to power by means of elections. We'll not get to power by means of an arrangement. So as far as I am concerned, and the SDF is concerned as of this day, that is our position. Now, things might change tomorrow for one reason or the other. But you know, as you say in Pidgin, and I always quote it, now when Koki don't sour, often get the biggest share. So it is not because
like that.
So it is not because Mr. Biya is unable to bring any innovation again into power that we will help him to stay longer. Our role as an opposition party is to shorten his very bad leadership of Cameroon. Is not to increase the length of that leadership.
Thank you so very much, Honorable Member of Parliament Joseph Osi, who also joins us, the first Vice President of the Social Democratic Front. We're very thankful to have you on this program this day. Hopefully next time, whenever we try to invite you, you'll be there because you're a very open person. And the leadership of the Social Democratic Front, very open to the media. Now, if you have a last word, Cameroonians are watching you. This is your camera. What would that be? What's the message you want to pass through to those who are watching you this day on OBU-SI Canada English?
Well, what I can say is that we only have the leadership we deserve. And the only way for us to have a better life tomorrow is to be able to decide on the leadership we want. And we can only decide on that if we vote. And we can only vote if we register. And registration is up until the 31st of August. On that day at midnight, it closes. So after that, people will have only regrets. If you are 20 and above and you are not registered, or you have moved from the place you last registered, please meet Elecam, meet any political party in your neighborhood, get as many people who are not registered around you and go and register. The only way we can solve joblessness, we can solve bad education, we can solve the problems in our health sector, the problems of infrastructure, the problems of our economy, our social problems you've been talking about, is not because we have a very good TV station, a very good anchor. Is because we have good leadership, and good leadership is what we decide to put in place. And as long as we do not take part, we are simply leaving the bad leadership in place. So please go and register wherever you are in Cameroon. I'm not calling for anybody to vote. I'm calling for registration. Registration is very important, and get people around you to vote. The fact that you are registered alone in your house is a very bad thing. Get all of those who are of voters' age to go and vote. The fact that you are registered in your workplace alone is a bad thing. Get all of them to go and register to vote. And it's only then that we can have the true Cameroon of tomorrow.
Thank you so very much. Delighted to have you on the program. It's time for us now to see what EPOSI has for us on the slot. Hot news. Okay, we're happy to have Joseph on the program, the Honorable Member of Parliament and the first Vice President of the Social Democratic Front, SDF. EPOSI, you begin with, you are talking about parliamentarians and senators that to begin a second regular session come June 5th.
Yes. That's June 8th on Thursday. But I don't want us to begin dwelling on that. I want us to dwell on the fact that our government is preaching Cameroon is one and indivisible every day, yet our leaders are divided. And this is because the Speaker of the National Assembly and the President of the Senate have signed two separate communiques summoning members of Parliament and senators to a new parliamentary session. Okay, the first press release was issued on Friday, June 2nd, by Kavayege Jubiru, the Speaker of the National Assembly, for the second regular session to be held in Yaoundé on Thursday, June 8, 2017 at 8 a.m. Let me take it again. Thursday, June 8, 2017 at 8 a.m. And the second statement bearing the signature of the Senate President, that is Marcel Nyach Ndifenji, said the session would begin on the same day, but at some 4 p.m. So we can now see the controversy existed between these two personalities, the President of the Senate and the Speaker of the National Assembly. So that's the first news on our slot today. And we'll move forward to the case in court which held today. We had Holy Men summoned to court and 150 billion francs CFA demanded as damages. That is the moderator of the Presbyterian Church in Cameroon, Right Reverend Fonky Samuel. He was summoned to court today in Boya. And the turnout, that's the population, the turnout was indeed massive. I think we have a video on that. It was a massive turnout. Okay. The population, we had a CWF, CMF, the entire population of the Presbyterian Church came out in their numbers to support their moderator. That's the moderator's car when they left the court, chanting praises and singing, God is alive, God is not asleep. He will definitely, that's Boya today, Senator. I was present there, you know.
Yes, you were present there. I know.
Yes.
I know you were present there.
I was present there.
Yeah.
The Presbyterians and the moderator had this one word. He told everybody, he thanked all the PCC, all the Christians for turning out to support them, and that they should believe that God is alive. God is not asleep. And what you have noticed is the fact that the case has been adjourned to the 24th of July.
Okay, huge mobilization there in Aboya.
Yes,
we go now to London?
no, we are still in Cameroon.
In Cameroon.
Yes, where Cameroonian soldiers blocked the highway.
Yeah, just for 30 minutes.
Okay.
30 minutes, because I had a friend colonel in the far north region of Cameroon call, and I said, no, people are exaggerating just for 30 minutes, and they discussed with them, and some even minimize and say less than 0.01% came out to, but that's Cameroon though.
No, they said about 50 of the armed soldiers, the armed Cameroonian soldiers, they blocked the major.
That's why they're talking about 0.0001%.
And the soldiers, reported that the soldiers were demanding for their 2 years worth of salaries and expenses that they were owed, and they have not been paid. Yes, so they took off their arms, blocked the road, dismantled their post and everything, and said, no, we want our salaries being paid, we want our wages being paid. But after that, reports have it that negotiations with the soldiers will be led by the Minister of Defense, who is currently out of the country. So when
Joseph Betia Somo.
Yes. So
9 deaths after a terror attack in London. Let's talk about London.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because we'll still come back
Yeah,
to Cameroon.
Cameroon.
Yeah, the London police confirmed earlier today that at least 9 people have died, including 3 attackers, after a terrorist attack in central London. That is, it all happened when a white van veered off the road and moved down pedestrians on the London Bridge. The drivers then got off the vehicle and began stabbing people with large knives. That is, I don't really
3 of them,
there were
3
attackers. Just
with
started,
fake explosive.
yes, and just
on their
started
waist.
stabbing people with knives and the rest, and everywhere was in total chaos, people everywhere. So as the police heard about the information, they quickly arrived at the scene and caught up and shot the 3 attackers. But before then, 6 other people had lost their lives. So altogether,
48 people injured.
Yes, 48 people injured. So altogether, we had 9 people who were killed.
On the
as a
same
result.
day when Ariana Grande was
was
in Manchester.
Yes.
Now let's go to Bamenda to conclude with. Is a fresh news coming from Bamenda
Yes, just
about a
this
hotel.
afternoon. Just this afternoon. It's called the Top Star Bakery. It's a popular restaurant, hotel in Bamenda, and it has caught flames today afternoon. As at now, reports have it that the fire emerged from the bakery sector. You know, all this baking fire kind of thing. So
Oven and all that,
the
yes.
baking stuff. So everything was brought down to ashes. Though we are not still certain about the cause of the fire incident, but reports have it that it was from the bakery. And fortunately enough, no life was lost, but definitely a lot of property was lost.
Okay, can we have the images from Bamenda?
Yeah,
Because
the Top Star.
yeah, we have
Top
Top
Star.
Top Star Hotel
Yes.
in Bamenda. Fire on the hotel round this afternoon.
Yeah.
We're sorry for that. We don't know if it was a criminal fire, but all the same.
But subsequently, we'll bring you updates on the
Yeah,
story.
maybe tomorrow on our program we'll get to know what really happened in Bamenda. Those are the
Top Star.
Yeah, the Top Star Hotel in Bamenda. Flames there this
It was
afternoon.
devastating a past.
Yeah.
It was really devastating today.
We even have a little video of the fire incident in Bamenda. But those are the pictures we have there. Emmanuel,
yes,
that will be it with our hot news with OBU-SI. Sports now with you. You see the first lap of the Elite One Championship rounded off at the weekend.
Yeah, over the weekend on Sunday. That was on Sunday. And the Ealing Sport of the league, he actually topped the group again. They maintained their position on their group. They defeated UMS of Loom 3-2, and the rest of the fixture I'll just give them to you how it happened yesterday. The scores rather. We actually said Feature FC 3, Dragon of Yaoundé 2. We have Egle of the Menor 2, Unisport of Bafan 1. We have Babutus of Buda 1, Apajes 0. We equally have Star Renard of Melong 0, Raseng of Bafusam 0. That was a tie. Canon Sportif of Yaoundé 0. Astre of Douala 0, a series of ties there. The New Stars of Douala 2, and of course Colombo of Sangamba 1. That was how it happened.
Okay, I was almost dancing because it was good. You were like, cut down, say. 2017 African Karate Senior and Junior Championship.
Yes, hosted in Yaoundé in the sport complex in Yaoundé. 3 days. You actually formed Action Park. but the winner, Tunisia, won the championship, having the senior category after collecting 13 medals. That 13 medals, 5 of them in gold. Cameroon finished in the second place. They actually had 13 medals, but they had 3 gold medals out of that 13. Then, as far as the junior category is concerned, there's Egypt. Egypt won the championship in the junior category, winning 8 medals with 6 in gold. And Cameroon finished in the 4th position with 1 gold medal.
Cotton Sport of Garoua. Let me talk like episode Garoua.
Yes, Cotton Sport of Garoua, not a good footing. So far, they have played. We are talking the CAF Champions League. So far, the CAF Champions League, they have played so far 3 matches. So far, they have all considered defeats. So last time they played Al Ahly of Egypt, they defeated them 2-0 without Casablanca or Morocco. So this time around in Zambia over the weekend, they played Zenaco. Actually, they defeated Zenaco, defeated them 2-1. So they have the next match, the return match of that. That will be played in Yaoundé, the Rumde Adja Stadium, on the 21st of June. So Cotton Sport of Yaoundé of Garoua will be playing in home soil in their own backyard. We hope they are going to turn the table around this time around.
Thank you, Emmanuel. Now, concerning our talking point, Emma, tell us. We watched the images of the moderator of the Presbyterian Church. OSIH was there. He was there.
Yes,
now, people carried them to court, and they're talking of the consortium of parents. Is there a hidden hand behind this so-called consortium, Emmanuel?
I don't know, because the people themselves don't want to be made known. The case came today, but it has been adjourned today. Later date, the 24th of July. All right. So, all right. So it has been adjourned. It means that the people behind.
So you don't know the date.
I don't really know, because there is no. They don't want to be made known, so I cannot tell for sure who is behind.
Bro, it's okay.
Yeah.
You know. So thank you, Emmanuel. You think there's a hidden hand, Pastor Caleb?
Yes, sir.
Bro, you've been here. Oh. You know what we're talking about, Joseph, with Joseph, say politics and all that. Quite interesting, and you had so many questions to ask him. We're sorry, next time we're going to be there, and we think we're going to invite people like this on this program so that they should tell us the plans for the future of our kids, because they should not just be chopping money and all that, and they should be open like the chief tent of CPP, the Social Democratic Front. The others should be open to come to the media and air their opinions, and why not their projects. So, Pastor Caleb, you have the Bible there. You have a message to pass through to the televiewer. What are you talking about today?
Let's wait and see.
Okay, let's listen to you. And while listening to you, we'll be ushering into the studio Tabi Helen, Nadesh Kila, and Aika Vanessa.
Wow, beautiful personalities. Okay, I have the mic now. In the book of Joshua, chapter 1. Joshua chapter 1 is a place of scripture which we quote most of the time. Verse 8 says that this book of the law should not depart from you, but you should meditate on it day and night. Now, this was an instruction given to Joshua. You know, in those days, for you to lead a people, what you need, first of all, is military might. You need a huge military force. If not, you won't be able to stand. Moses was aware of all this. But one thing he passed over to Joshua was not the might of his military, but the word of God. Now we are advancing in the year 2017, and I want to tell us this day that in the race of life, what we need most, what we need is not military might. What we need is not people with to give us promises. What we need is to rely on the word of God. The word of God is final. The Word of God is not a God. The Word of God is God. The Word of God is not, it has no replacement. It's either you go for it or you don't. The Word of God is principal in us taking over the future. Now, if you realize we have over-relied on people who have failed us at the end of the day. We've relied on people who have let us down. But there's one person, there's one individual, there is one man who will never let you down. When you rely on him, when you rely on his word, he says, I honor my word more than my name. Now, if there's something that God honors more than his name, is his word. And if I'm able to get in contact with the word of God, then everything shall be stable. I pray for you this day that as you proceed in the month of June, and as you make God's word the standard of your life, achievements shall be realized in the name of Jesus. And if you are not a child of God, watch this, if you are not a child of God, if Jesus is not Lord of your life, I beg you, take out some time and make Jesus the Lord of your life, because advancing without Jesus is advancing into atrocities, into danger. You can't go without God. You can go without the word of God. So I beg on you, I pray on you, make Jesus and the Lord of your life, and the rest of your life shall be the best part of your life. God bless you, and see you again.
Thank you so very much, Pastor Caleb. No, Jean, the girls are the women. They have the power. Woman, yes, they have the power. And today we're happy because we sandwiched them.
Yeah.
Pastor extreme right, Etundi extreme left, and you girls, Nadesa bread. Yeah. Bootylicious, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Senator.
You look good, though.
Thank you.
Blue, black, yes. Turn around small now. Let me see. Just round, Bootylicious. I don't suffer. Killer?
Yes, Senator.
You just turn around small. You argue. Okay. You'll be talking about health tips today. And you, Buzz, and then Etundi. I don't even know if your slot's going to go on there today. Can't see. She cannot wear a Christmas dress like this, and I don't see her now. Jean, you see now the match here. That's red, black.
And red. That's color black. They call it color black.
I did not ask you to intervene now. Did I? Okay, Aika, dates and event. We begin with you, Aika, on dates and events today. The first case of AIDS were reported in 1981.
Yes.
This day in history.
Yes, Senator. The first case was reported today that the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention issued a report announcing that cases of rare pneumonia were found among 5 homosexual men in Los Angeles in California. So it was found with 4 people who were homosexually to practice homosexuality, and it was later identified as AIDS. So they first of all thought it was pneumonia, and later on they noticed it was AIDS. And
the acquired immune deficiency syndrome.
This was in 1981. Same day, 1981.
1981, that's history. Next story, Ethiopian and Eritrea.
Yes, they had a border fighting in 1988. The border dispute between Ethiopia and Eritrea, they had a broad valley across the mountainous region. Both countries began air raids against the other territories. Like they were fighting helicopters and the rest, throwing bombs, doing the
That was when in history.
It was in 1998.
1998, this day. Okay. And it used to be a single country, Ethiopia and Eritrea. And they had to split. So like the history of so many countries, Yugoslavia, that turned into Czech and other countries today. You can see you did not appreciate my t-shirt though. Jolosina sick. Jean, there is this yellow button. The yellow button, yeah, the Bali people know how to fix this button. You press the button, then we're going to have gossips with Majona. Let me stand beside Betulicious, no profit, no. Chukia skin, fila. Malok's offensive statement on Facebook about Bishop Bala's demise.
Yes, Malok did it again, and he posted a silly comment on Facebook where he actually insulted the late Bishop Bala.
I'm not cutting you. Today on the radio, I was like explaining to people that that he has some expired cables in his head, and that a neo should come in to repair some of those cables. Yeah, continue with
yes, and there is a lady, because he removed that post, but people have already started reacting bitterly about it. Yes, and people copied it, and there is a lady who said it's because the wigs he takes is actually the cause of some of the comments he does on social media. Yes, and he insulted that girl and calling her a bitch, and that if she is the bitch who was dating that dog who committed suicide.
If children are listening, let them just reduce the volume of the TV, like the mayor of Boya. Yes. He said to the lady, your mother's vagina. That's what he said.
And there is a blog, Le Quatrième Pouvoir, who took upon this to do another post on Facebook saying that he has been summoned to the set. And
that was fake.
And I'm sure that's what prompted Malok to remove that post, because
on
they
social
said that
media.
Sources from the Ministry of Defense.
Yes. He was afraid that they are going to lay him, trash the hell out of him. Salatiel, join the new trend. Je suis dans l'eau.
Yes, Salatiel also joined the trend, just as many Cameroonians, and he did a pic and he wrote on it, I am in the waters. Je suis aussi, I'm also in the waters, just as many others. And I wanted to say the foolish, but the guy, the Malok's man, I'm not Salatiel, the Malok's
no, even the fact to play with things like that, I don't think it's to me it's uncalled for. It's uncalled for. We're talking of a human being as well. Even if it's a child of 1 year that jumped into the water and died, we should not be playing with it. Huh? Yeah. The society in which we live in, with the leaders we have, how corrupt-minded they are, makes for things
Malok
like this.
Said something. Malok said he is the image of our country.
We have a rotten country. That is it. That's total moral decadence. We're talking about it with Pastor Caleb. We shouldn't. Thank you. You're speaking grammar now.
We make jokes about every little thing. Like, people are really serious and they're really joking about it.
You crack jokes about the death of. Too bad. Pastor Caleb, how did you take that one? Joking with the demise of a man of God.
State of Malok's should be in a psychiatric home right now.
Thank you so very much. One comment. Samuel Eto'o invites Tenor as a special guest for the launching of the MTN Eto'o Tips.
Yes, as a special guest, and this is the youngest guest Samuel Eto'o actually invites in this MTN Eto'o Tip that will hold in Yaoundé. That will be in Yaoundé from the 6th, that's tomorrow, from the 6th to the 7th in Yaoundé at the Sansa Hall. So other artists are also invited there. We have Peter Okoye of the P Square. We have Dynasty Lutric, Mr. Leo, Bless Beast, Stanley Eno, and many others there. So
many others there.
This program.
Blanche Bailey's. No. What has she done again?
Blanche Bailey, actually, she's out to promote her song in Bayer and all the other songs, and she's like doing her tours in all the TVs and radio stations. But her people are much more focused on the pictures that are on social media. Very sexy lady. They are not just attracted by her voice, the beauty of her voice, and
I didn't want a publisher. Even now, you don't like her.
And how she acts in her videos, but also interested about her bootylicious body.
Can you see that white? See this one now? I watched her on Fireborn. I was asking myself, can you give me her number? I don't have a number. I want to call her, just talk with her once.
She doesn't want people having her number.
I'm people now, right? I'm people having a number, right?
And people call it the Mimbayo tour. That she's actually doing the Mimbayo tour over Cameroon.
She looks good. 4 people arrested in Senegal for posting Macky Sall's need pictures.
Yes, actually they are not joking with what they post on social media. There are 5 people who took this risk of posting him, that's taking his head on a nude picture, claiming that it is Macky Sall, and 4 of them were arrested. That's 2 ladies and 2 ladies and a guy. Yeah,
they were arrested.
And a guy, yes. And
if you don't have the exact figures, no problem. And the people are arrested.
So they were arrested, and they are still checking on to hold the other people. So they say you
should not play with the pigs for the president.
Be punished as example.
So you are showing the president's thing in public. Bad. Arafat weeps as Debodo is summoned to appear in court. What really happened?
Yes, we know about this story where he said Arafat accused Debodo of threatening him with a gun.
Yeah.
With a gun when they were seated at a bar. He was like in a bar, yes. And when Arafat was going, Debodo came and pointed a gun on him. And Debodo on the side said Arafat who did that, and that he does not have a gun. And actually, Debodo was summoned by the police, summoned to the police to go and answer to these allegations. And it's actually Arafat is not happy with what is happening because he's accusing another man, that's Christy B. He says Christy B is the cause of the troubles and the conflicts between the singers of Coupe de Kalede, and he was crying, saying that he does not want Debodo to go into prison, to be jailed.
For nothing.
For nothing.
Okay. Etunde, thank you for that slot. Yeah. Now, let me speak now like as an American. Thank you so very much. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's go see what Botelicious has for us this afternoon. I don't come back for Cameroon. Buzz on the Obosi. Press that black button now. Why are you wasting time? That black button. Press it so that we should have Buzz because we have so many nice stories. Let's go. Still not finding the right button. Okay. Next time, please, Jano, for tomorrow, right? The Buzz buttons. Check where you see gossip. Just beside gossip, you see the other buttons written B-U-Z-Z. ZZ if you want. No, baby. Who's this Nigerian artist that was arrested?
His name is Danny Crane, and he's a member of the DMV group, and Davido is the boss. So what actually happened, he was arrested during the weekend, precisely on Friday, because he has been charged on 7 counts of grand theft, of credit cards, and forgery. Yes, and surprisingly, he used a stolen credit card to book a private jet. And Nigerians have taken it up on social media. Why do you have to go for something that is bigger than you? You're actually showing off on social media or on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram that you are the boss. Meanwhile, unfortunately for him, when
we say in a corner you are twatted.
Yeah, unfortunately for him, when he booked for the flight and the private jet, the service realized that the credit card that he's using was fake. They called the police, and unfortunately for him, he was taken to the police custody.
He was fished out of the private jet.
Yeah, he was fished out, and pictures of him were sent on social media to prove that he was actually in jail. But then he wrote on Twitter that that he was going to be fined and that they shouldn't bother that he was fine. Then Davido took up on Snapchat that they should free his Danny Crane, that he hasn't done anything wrong. But unfortunately, that's not how American functions, so it's not Nigeria.
Be very careful.
Yeah.
Man dies after swimming with new tattoos.
Yeah.
Infection.
Yeah.
Oh, too bad.
Because he was actually told that maybe 10 days after you have a tattoo, you don't have, if you're planning to have a tattoo, you don't have to go to the swimming pool or maybe expose yourself under hot sun, yes, because you're going to be infected. They have diseases that, because people have tattoos, but they don't know the outcome. So unfortunately for the guy, see what happened to him. He went to the pool.
So he died there?
Yes, he died.
Okay, this is a tattoo, eh?
Yeah, he had a tattoo on his leg of the handprint, and what was written on the tattoo is that Jesus is my life. That was what he had on his
So he went swimming, not accuse Jesus here. No, it's
he
not
went
possible.
Swimming 5 days later. Then 3 days after swimming, he complained of swollen legs. So he was taken to the hospital, and it was shown that it was infections, that the tattoo had been infected. So
and he kicked the bucket.
He kicked the bucket.
Okay. Ariana Grande receives praises on Twitter.
Thank you, Senator, for sending me to the UK.
Yes.
I was in Manchester this weekend, and the Ariana Grande concert was a success, and people have taken up on Twitter and social media to actually praise Ariana Grande. These are the,
Check it.
Yeah, these are some of the Twitter's comments that we had. 20 23-year-old Ariana Grande is showing more dignity and grace in the face of terrorism rather than the 70-year-old man supposedly leading the free world. They actually mean Donald Trump.
And he tweeted this thing very early in the morning, saying that Sadiq Khan, who is the mayor of London, minimized the terrorist attack and all that. And you know what happened? Sadiq Khan's communication team said they have so many good things to do rather than responding to tweets from Donald Trump.
Yeah, because what actually happened is after the terror attacks in London that night, people thought maybe people would be scared to go to the Ariana Grande concert, but surprisingly, 50,000 people. Okay, Senator is confirming that 35,000 people, but
you didn't count well, though.
No, because on BBC, that I was there.
Yeah, you were there, but you were there. You didn't count well. And
okay, maybe I didn't count.
You know, BBC told us that they fished out the body of Bishop Balaga. And you found out that was fake.
So what you're actually trying to say, we don't believe what BBC says.
Sometimes all the medias might make mistakes. It's possible.
And this guy also who had insulted Ariana Grande after the terror attack, this is what he had to say. I misjudged you, Ariana Grande, and I apologize. And you are an adorable young woman, and this is a magnificent night. Respect. One Love Manchester. He actually insulted Ariana Grande and blamed her for the terrorist attack.
But at the end of the day, he found out that the girl was a good girl.
And she's a powerful woman.
Yeah.
So that's what actually
there is this girl on the social media. See, some of these girls are good though. This one is good. They've nude pictures, and some people were saying that it's Monono's daughter. So tell us more, Tabitha.
You know, it's the trend right now, because if your nude pictures are not out there, it means you're not trending. So this girl,
Becca, you don't do that.
So this girl, she's alleged to be, they're saying that she's the daughter of Monono Humphrey, and it's kind of a revenge for the dad, because she's in support of the Anglophone problem, because he's promoting the GCE. But reports are telling us that she is not Monono's daughter.
But another Monono.
But another Monono, who is the daughter of a barrister. We haven't confirmed it yet.
That the father is not that Monono Humphrey.
Yes, so it's not the Monono Humphrey. So according to the video, the voice note that I heard, this girl was promised 5 million francs if she sent nude pictures of herself. So unfortunately for her, we can't.
Too bad. Those stuff.
You can't air,
but for sure the girl looks clean.
Yeah, she's a beautiful girl.
Yeah,
this is what some people on social media had to say. This is Agbo Gilbert. Good morning, people of God. These girls would not stop acting like animals because of money. Sad enough, you don't see the use of the money on them. First was naked pictures, then came naked videos, then after sex tapes of 2 girls, 1 man, which is a threesome. Today is anal sex. What happened to the normal papa and mommy style? Make we do how we did speaking them. Anal sex for 2 million. Okay, my advice for these young girls is that we have gone through the worst to get the best. Let your past not make a bitter part of you. That's he's actually trying to say. Even though your naked pictures are on social media, you shouldn't lose hope. Like you shouldn't.
Hopelessness is not called for.
Yeah, hopelessness is not called for. So that's what I had for.
You had for us today. Okay, please, it was beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, I loved it. Okay, I'll be so natural do and fine. Yeah. Pastor Caleb,
yes, sir.
About the new pictures, just one word, please.
It's demeaning to females.
I know.
But it's trending.
Yeah, I see.
If it's not sex tape, forcefully done, it's voluntary.
I said the
one in Boya we heard was 3 million. This other one, 5 million. So the other one is APA, no chemo, APA.
Now, I said one time that most people want to swell to greatness.
Yes.
Girls want to get money overnight, and it does not come that way. It comes at the expense of your life. You need to take your time, you sit, you plan, and you go one step at a time.
That is how we do. We are taking our time to do this program. That's the sole reason why people love what we are doing. Health tips. Okay, Nadesh.
Yes, Senator.
How now?
I'm fine.
Vital importance of plums to the health. That's SAFU.
Yes, we are in the season where we have enough plums in the market. And
in the markets.
I'm going to be giving us, I'll go directly to the importance of these plums to the health. First of all, it protects your heart. One medium size of plum contains 113 milligram of potassium, a mineral that helps in reducing high blood pressure and reduce the risk of stroke. They also protect against cancer, that is the reddish pigment in some plums called anthocyanins. You have, secondly, the lower blood sugar. That's according to dietitians of Canada, plums are ranked high on the glycemic index, which eating them can also help you control blood sugar and also reduces type 2 diabetes. We also have the next, which is it boosts your bone health. That it makes your bones strong. Research from Florida and Oklahoma State universities. There were two groups of postmenopausal women over the span of 12 months who were tested for bone density. 100 grams of 100 grams of bone was of plums was given to a particular set of these women, and also 100 grams of apple was given to another set, after which a research was done, and the findings indicated that the group of women who had the plums had a higher bone mineral density in the spine and, of course, in the forearms. Also, it improves your memory. Eating 3 to 4 plums a day neutralizes cell-damaging free radicals that affect your memory. Now, that's being sharp. It makes you sharp, your memory very active. So we should make sure we afford plums for ourselves to keep our memories strong and healthy. Again, it provides us with vitamin C and K. That's also collagen and increased iron absorption. Also, plum helps us to control or reduce cholesterol by soaking up excess bile in the intestine, and then makes excretion easy. We should know that bile is made from cholesterol in the liver in order to digest fat. Again, it fights signs of aging. The vitamin E and beta-carotene are an antioxidant in plums protect fatty acids and cell membranes from the attack of free radicals, which allows the body fight the signs of aging skin, such as loss of elasticity and wrinkles. It also replaces damaged tissues and helps to heal wounds faster. That is, it helps your wounds. Eating much plum makes your wounds heal faster. It removes dandruff from the hair. It helps, yes, and stimulates hair growth. That's one of the importance of plums. And last but not the least, plums promotes a healthy looking skin. You could apply plums on your face. It helps to remove spots on your face and lightens the dark spots that are found on your skin in general, and treats skin discoloration. That means if your skin, you have a disbalanced color, you can use plums and it will help you. So this is the season of plums. We should try as much as possible to afford them, as they if you want a lot of health benefits.
There you go to or carry to Fireborn. We have plum trees there. But one thing with me is I don't consume plums. I don't know why. I don't really consume. No, it's not fatty. It's good. Good. Yeah, that's natural. That's natural fat. It's good. It's like pears. You need them. Like other like the refined oil, you go there.
It has a lot of benefits. Yeah, but
it's natural and important.
Don't like it, and that's
it's fatty. You know, I don't eat pears now. It's fatty. I want to.
Actually good.
See, I don't lost belly. Let's watch a little video. Stephanie, how are you? You're hot. You should eat plums, please. You should eat plums, please. Okay. Okay. If you are back now, I'll back there at 2,500. That at 3,000. Funny video.
You're fine, eh? Fine girl. What's your name?
I want your name.
My name is Pierre.
Please, let's come. Very inspiring video. Now, Caleb, you understand the lady, right? Because of that APF, you know, you giving just a plum or orange to a girl, and then she asks your name and you say APF. Say, hi, you APF.
But we see the character of the girl. You meet a man and you are taking stuff from him.
Okay, you don't even know.
Why did you say no?
Okay.
No, but now the APS syndrome. That's you're condemning and you don't understand.
But it's the same thing.
No. Let me come. Pastor Caleb. The girls went away because of that guy. What the guy did with the other.
That's why we have to be careful with the kind of things we do.
The kind of things we do. Okay, Nadesh. Yes, don't scratch. You want to?
Now I'm saying Kelly, for example, didn't really know this guy too, because if she knew what the guy could do, she would not just like collect things from the guy. Just like
I was in Kumba. I have a different view now. I was in Kumba about the story.
Then this video, what the APS syndrome, but then we have to understand.
Microphone or you
we have to understand that it's not all APS that are really bad. So the name.
So if I give you something, you take because you know me, right?
Not because I know you, but I won't be scared of APS because one APS committed a crime.
Okay, that's really fallacy of property.
Yeah.
Vanessa.
Yes.
No, let me hold your microphone. Talk.
Yes, Senator.
About that video.
Yes. Yes, that name appear.
It scare you.
If you have that name, please don't come. I beg you, please just stay away. I don't want you by me.
Kumba girl, you no go fear. Trump eye. You don't have time.
No, this time around I go fear.
You go fear. Okay, our text messages. But before, do you think there's a hidden hand behind the consortium of parents? The so-called consortium?
Yes, Senator.
Somebody is behind it.
Very soon we'll find out.
We'll find out very soon. Just have 5 minutes to go on the program. You two, Nadesh, you think somebody's behind it?
Of course, Senator.
Okay, of course.
Hands.
I
Tabitha?
don't think so.
You don't think so? They're real parents. But we didn't find them in court. You're going to fish them somewhere because you're fishing people. You fish a thief, you fish this one from water and all that.
Yes, Senator.
Yes, I know ask question, no. Okay, yes.
Look at me. I just want to say that when the wind is going to blow, the false enos is going to show. We'll see them.
Very soon. That's pineapple. Pineapple. You don't broke pineapple. Okay, Stephanie, the text messages on the program before we quit.
Good day to you in the studio, especially to the VP of the SDF, Mr. Joshua Osi. So-called consortium is a ghost of itself, and the government who is trying to resolve the Anglophone crisis is behind it. Because when we heard of the church being dragged to court, it was said backed by the government. Please bear trying to come back.
Please let me just read this other one. Somebody we talked about Kelly and a guy just sent a text message. His name is Brantley, watching the program out in Yaoundé. Please tell Kelly I love her. Continue.
Good evening to you all in the studio. It is no news that the so-called parent consortium is an agency of the government of La République. The government forgets to understand that she is the architect of the no school issue, and she dare blame our leaders. Religious members cannot compromise their teaching to condone the injustice shown to Southern Cameroonians. It is not true that the government is caught in its own trap. Is it not true that the government is caught in its own trap? This is Leonard from whom? Senator Sier, I think there is nothing else to say about the so-called parent consortium. It is the government that is behind it in a short term, and I'm very sure of what I'm saying. Bazin from Kumbo. Senator, to be very sincere, I believe that the government has a hand in the so-called consortium of parents. That term has never existed before. This Elvis from Bello. My respect to Mr. Joshua, even though he has already left. Hello to the crew on board. OBU-SI to you all. Those who are behind the parent consortium are the same people in the consortium that were banned. It's just another strategy. They are the people fueling the ship underground. Don't forget that they too are parents. This is Phil from Bamenda. Good evening to you all. Just to tell Mr. Joshua that I admire his political analysis. More able to your power, sir. What love. Those who are behind the so-called consortium of parents are those Anglophone who hate the Anglophone struggle. In fact, they are the hypocrites and sellouts amongst us. This Chris from Bamenda. The consortium is a group that was formed to negotiate with the government on the grievances of the teachers that were on the strike. It was created by the teachers, ordered by the government. I think only those who have sold their consciences to the devil come out to call themselves parent consortium. Emmanuel from Bamenda, greetings to you all. Thank you. Good evening to you in the studio. Talking about registration, I feel reluctant to register because whether I vote or not, the party in power will always turn it upside down. This is Hamza from Campbell. Good evening to the OBU-SI crew. My regard to Honorable Joshua. Those behind the so-called consortium of parents are at large. Nobody can hold fire because he's standing in water. Those who claim to be the consortium of parents must have been manipulated upon. This is Simon from Gula. Hello to everyone in the studio. I think the people behind the parent consortium are the disgruntled parents, teachers, church leaders, and all well-wishers who want to see that a solution is found for the country's present predicament. This is Nancy Limunga from Boya. I love your show. Thank you. Thanks a lot to our special guest. His answers and clarification are just the best. I wish you all the best in your endeavors, Honorable. Ernestine from Ja Ilobo. And then the last one, there are bundles of thieves and money doublers who seek to enrich themselves by taking advantage of the Anglophone crisis. They are a group of illegitimate bandits that have no place in the diocesan PTA of any diocese. In fact, they are criminals trying to defend the church authorities. This table from my 14 Boya.
Thank you so very much. There's also Clovis watching the program out there in Boya. Clovis wants to know, Nadesh, if you're talking about raw or cooked plums.
Cooked plums, actually.
Cooked plums. But raw plums will do no harm to anybody at all. Hello, Senator. The so-called Parents Consortium is non-existent. If it does exist, its intention is to fuel the already burning flame that is consuming every unit of this country. I wish the Parent Consortium success in their endeavor. Okay. Good evening, Senator. Please, just those babe that I love their look. Frankie Yaounde, I should tell you that he loved John. Let's see all of the girls. Yeah, a guy Yaounde love their looks. Not only, but okay. Hey guys, I love your program. It's dope. Please help tell my parents and everyone who is making sure I'm happy. I love them. It's Harry from Kumbo. Can you say that in the Lamso language? He loves his parents. His name is Harry.
In Kong,
Let's clap for that one. Okay, that will be it for today. From before I say that, Roland. Yeah, this is my camera. Jean, can I have my camera on me so that I should tell the televiewers that the guy behind the camera is called Roland. Roland, salute to you. This is me now, swag man. See my t-shirt now. If you don't want to appreciate like a lizard fall down the tree and then not in the head. And then this other camera, go to the other camera. Yes, this is this other camera. Let me use this other camera. That's Roland's camera. This one, it belongs to the central cameraman. His name is Frank Harry Nonga with the numerical web TV. Yeah, you should go there, like this stuff, watch this program on YouTube. Thanks to Frank Nonga, we have all the editions of OBU-SI on YouTube. You can appreciate your. And then behind there, we'll not see him. Roland, open up, Jean. Go to Frank. Turn the camera like that. Let's see Jean. Yes, Jean. Yeah, Jean, we should see you. Calm down, yeah, man. Yeah, let's see Jean. That's Jean. Okay, he's gonna appear in a second on the screen. Let's see you, Jean. We have to see you before we leave. We have to see you before we leave. I'll carry the camera to you. That's Jean. Black let me for here. Eposi sat present today. Emmanuel also was there. Pastor Caleb, thank you for coming. Happy to have you here on set with us. And then we'll have dope televiewers too. From me to you, or from us to you? It's bye-bye.
I'm in love with rhythms.
It's in music. Rhythms.
It's feel weird.
Mina you, today mina you. Toi et moi, la la la, toi et moi. Fine fine girl, beautiful girl. She gets all the qualities when any man want to see. Dance here for me, shake shaking for me. I know say all your family, no one say make we relate. Ils ont dit que cet amour n'aura pas de fruits, mais cet amour est très fort, ils ne peuvent que parler. Elle est bameleke et je suis ewundo. The only thing I want for tell you, baby, madame. Mina are you, sugar. Today mina are you, sugar, sugar. Toi et moi, la la la, toi et moi. Mina are you, sugar. Aujourd'hui mina are you, toi et moi, la la la, toi et moi. They want no big money. You be there with me, now you be stay with me. Your friend them say we no go fit. Now our level done is keep. See jealousy people, no one say make we succeed. Ils ont dit que cet amour n'aura pas de fruits, mais cet amour est très fort, ils ne peuvent que parler. Elle est à Oussa et je suis Douala. The only thing I want for you, baby, not only one. Mina are you, sugar. Today mina are you, sugar, sugar. Toi et moi, la la la, toi et moi. Mina are you, sugar. Aujourd'hui mina are you, toi et moi, la la la, toi et moi. Mina are you, sugar. Today mina are you, sugar, sugar. Toi et moi, la la la, toi et moi. Mina are you, sugar. Aujourd'hui mina are you, toi et moi, la la la, toi et moi.
It's feel weird.
Oh na 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 na, give me your hand, baby. I'll be your man. Oh. I'll take you all over the world, you know I can. Oh. Give me your hand, chérie. I'll be your man. Oh. I'll take you all over the world, you know I can. Oh. Ils ont dit que cet amour n'aura pas de fruits, mais cet amour est très fort, ils ne peuvent que parler. Elle est bameleke et je suis ewundo. The only thing I want for tell you, baby.